What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Bigboyfactsjonnytv, and tonight I'll go over my NXT Halloween Havoc review and highlights. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, turn on post notifications when I premiere a brand new video at 3 o'clock a.m. Follow my social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, my TikTok, and Twitch, and Discord down below in the description. Now let's talk about NXT Halloween Havoc. Now NXT Halloween Havoc, it was a good show. The match card looked good, so I enjoyed the show tonight. So we get our first ladder match. We get ladder match for the NXT North American Champion. Carmelo Hayes versus Oro Mensah versus Wes Lee versus Von Wagner versus Nathan Frazier. This was a fantastic match. I enjoyed this. Frazier hits an early splash on the floor, then fights with Melo and Mensah for the ladder. Frazier ducks Hayes again and gets the ladder in the corner. Then Wes gets control of the ladder and stumps it onto Wagner's stomach. Wagner regains control and hits Frazier in the wrist with it. But Frazier holds on in the corner, so Wagner powerbombs him repeatedly into the ladder. Carmelo Hayes slams Mensah on the ladder. Then Frazier hits him with a springboard moonsault onto the ladder. That result in a holy you-know-what chant. Wes Lee charged Wagner and hits a spin kick. Everyone on the floor before setting up the ladder. Robert Stone and Trick Williams ends up getting involved and both climb the ladder. Stone throws a shoe off, both get thrown off the ladder on and outside. Mensah rushes in and tries to climb the ladder, but Wagner cuts him off before he slams the ladder into Mensah's ribs. Wagner gets another ladder and sets it up, but Frazier tackles him and sends him crashing through a ladder on the apron. Wagner ends up regaining control and gets a ladder in the center of the ring, but Wes Lee tries to cut him off. Wagner picks him up and press slams him over the ropes and onto the commentary table. Results in another well-deserved holy you-know-what chant. Frazier rushes in the ring and shoves Wagner off the ladder, then takes him outside with a head scissors over the top rope. Mensah gets another ladder, fights with Frazier in the center of the ring. Then Melo hits Mensah in the center of the ring. Then Melo Hayes hits Mensah in the knees with it and sends him outside. Melo rushed up the ladder and reached for the belt, but Wesley leaps off another ladder and knocks him down. Wesley snaps Melo's head on a horizontal ladder. Then he slugs it out with Melo on top of it. The ladder balanced on the ropes and a vertical ladder gives as Wesley tackles Melo. Wes climbs over Melo and up the standing ladder and takes the title to win. The winner and your new NXT North American Champion, Wes Lee. This was a good match. Alright, let's move on. Toxic Attraction pulls up to a haunted area where a zombie butler greets them. There's a really cheesy haunted house vibe about the place, and the trio walks around the area looking for Alba Frey. The trio splits up to find Alba Frey, and she ends up taking JC. Gigi finds Chucky and has tea with him. Then Alba attacks Gigi and fight her in the kitchen. Gigi smashes some plates on her face and hits her with the fridge door. But a demon comes out of the refrigerator and pulls her inside. Alba Frey and Mandy are left, and Alba Frey hits her in the stomach with a bat. Some masked guy runs in and slides across the ground, and Mandy tries to hit Alba Frey with a bat. A pumpkin head guy stops her. Then Alba Frey knocks Mandy Rose out and puts her in their car. Alba Frey knocks JC and Gigi out, then drives away with Mandy. Okay, move on to the second match. So we get The Caskets match: Apollo Crews versus Grayson Waller. Okay, I'm gonna say this was a solid match. Waller and Cruz go right at it, going back and forth before they climb the turnbuckles. Waller ends up shoving Cruz off the turnbuckle and through the casket, and Waller declares himself the winner. The light go out. The lights go out. Then they come up, and Cruz is gone. On Manris, music plays as Cruz is standing in the exile as um Drew Drews brings another casket out. Apollo Crews smashes the ring steps and on him and beats him down in the ring. Then rolls him into the new casket, which is much larger and lined with red felt. Waller stops Cruz from closing the lid and punches Cruz, and then he slams the lid on Cruz head and tries to close the lid. Apollo Crews stops him and pulls him in the casket, and they stand up and slug it out. Waller gets the advantage and tries to hit a tombstone, but Cruz Apollo Crews counters with a sit sit outside slam and rolls him to the casket. Waller throws a few punches, but Apollo Crews ends up lifting him up and slamming him in the casket, closing the lid to win. The winner of the match, Apollo Crews. This was a solid match. So we get spin the wheel, make the deal, Women's Wild match. So we get Roxanne Perez versus Cora Jade. This match was, I must don't get me wrong, this match was good. I enjoyed. I must say this match was good. Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade was going at it. This was good. Roxanne tries to hit Cora with a skateboard, but Cora ducks and runs away. Roxanne catches up with her and slams her into the apron before trying to use the skateboard again. Cora blocks it. Then Roxanne slams Cora's face on the mat while she's laying on the skateboard. Roxanne rolls Cora outside and slams her on the floor. Cora sprays something in Roxanne's eyes to gain the advantage. Then she puts a trash can on Roxanne's head and kicks her in the head. Roxanne mounts a brief combat and whips Cora with a rope. Then she reverses a running attack and whips Cora into the steps. Roxanne remains in control for a bit, and Cora J tries to run away into the crowd. Cora J climbs the pre-show stage, and Roxanne gives chase, and Cora J slams her on the floor of the stage. Cora J takes the guardrail off the stage and taunts Cora J. But Roxanne punches her a few times before pausing. Cora J begs her not to throw her off the stage, but Roxanne swings and Cora grabs her arm, and both women fall down and crash into a table below them. That was a brutal spot by Roxanne Perez and Cora J. They both fall right through the table. Both women make it to their feet and fight back into the ring. And Cora J says something to Roxanne about never being her best friend. Roxanne counters Cora's offense and hits a Canadian destroyer through a pile driver of chairs. Now that was a brutal spot right there. And the winner of the match, Roxanne Perez. This was a good match. Okay, so we get the ambulance match: Damian Kemp versus Julius Creed. Now this was a pretty good match right here, pretty good. Julius Creed picks up some pumpkins in the entranceway and whips them at Kemp's head. He grabs Kemp and whips him around the ringside area, and they fall towards the ambulance. Kemp makes it in the ambulance and throws some equipment outside. Then he hits Julius Creed with a crutch and a fire extinguisher. Kemp says no offense and nearly wins it, but Julius Creed kicks the ambulance door open and gets back on the attack. Julius Creed beats Kemp down at ringside and goes for the ring steps, but Kemp choke slams him on them. Kemp taunts the crowd, but Julius Creed regains control and puts Kemp in a wheelchair. He wedges a crutch in the wheelchair to act like he resisted. Then slams Kemp into the ring post. Kemp breaks free, and the two just start whipping equipment at each other from the ring bell to equipment's case. Kemp throws Julius Creed in a laundry cart and slams him into the ambulance. Then Kemp power slams Julius Creed into the ambulance and tries to close the door. Julius Creed puts his hands out to stop it. So Kemp repeatedly slams the door onto Julius Creed's fingers. Julius Creed physics himself up and rushes at Kemp. He unloads on him with chair shots before picking him up and throwing him in the ambulance. The winner of the match, Julius Creed. Okay, this match was this was pretty good for what it was. Pretty good. Then we move on to the NXT Women's Championship. Mandy Rose versus Alba Frey. This match was decent match for what it was. The ambulance is showing leaving the WWE Performance Center right as Alba Frey pulls up in the Range Rover. Mandy tries to run when they stop, but Alba Frey fights her as they make it into the building. The referee calls for the bell as Alba Frey gets Mandy in the ring, but Mandy mounts a comeback and stops Alba Frey in the corner. Mandy Rose hits a spine bust and gets two. Then Gigi and JC shows up as Alba Frey gets a 2 count. After a powerbomb, Alba Frey hits a swanton, but the referee gets pulled outside by Gigi and JC. A referee bumps to the floor, results in him missing the count for Alba Frey's pin after a gory bomb. Then Alba Frey gets decked by Jesse at ringside. Mandy Rose runs over and knees her in the face and gets the cover. The winner is still your NXT Women's Champion, Mandy Rose. And we already knew that Toxic Attraction was going to get involved. Just like I'm saying that Bailey is just like Damage Control. Like Damage Control always finds a way to cheat, but so does Toxic Attraction. You know what I'm saying? But Mandy Rose is not going to the main roster until she drops the NXT Women's Champion, and that's facts. But she's not. But Mandy Rose is not going to the main roster until she drops the NXT Women's Champion. That's all I gotta say. Then we get the NXT Championship match: Bron Breakker versus Dragunov versus DJ Madar. This was a good main event match. Good main event. This was a triple threat match for the NXT champion. Good match, but good main event by the way, but good match too. Breaker takes control early on and knocks Dragunov with a clothesline. JD Madon tries to steal a roll up, then he ends up back on the floor and keeps taunting Breaker. Dragunov regains control and attacks both opponents, hitting a corner to corner drop kick on both of them. JD Madon ends up getting up and taunting his opponents as they square off. So Breaker and Dragunov sets their sights on him and ends up trading punches. JD Madon gets thrown on the floor. Then Breaker and Dragunov face off before slugging it out. Dragunov takes Breaker down and elbows him in the back of the head. Then he hits the ropes, but Breaker fires back with a clothesline. JD Madon gets back in and eats a Frankensteiner by Breaker, but Dragunov catches JD Madon on the way down and hits a seated powerbomb. Dragunov fires off with some chops, then Breaker goes for a spear and end up on the floor with Dragunov. JD Madon kicks Dragunov in the chest. Then they make it back in and Dragunov hits a powerbomb. JD Madon gets a 450 for a 2 count, then hits a brainbuster on Breaker for another near fall. Dragunov connects with a German suplex on JD Madon. Then Baker hits some with a Tyro Bulldog. JD Madon runs and tries to steal the pin. Then Dragunov gets his own near fall on Baker, but JD Madon stops the referee count. Dragunov is pissed and he goes to attack JD Madon on the floor. Dragunov runs around the whole ring and levels him with a clothesline. Then he unloads with chomps on Breaker. He gets caught by Breaker. Then Trey punches and forearms in the middle of the ring. Dragunov hits a German suplex and sets up in the corner, but Bron Breakker spears him for the win. The winner of the match is still your NXT champion, Bron Breakker. This was a good main event, and NXT Halloween Havoc goes off the air. But like I stated earlier, NXT Halloween Havoc was a good show. The match card itself looked good. And that's all I gotta say from here. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed my NXT Halloween Havoc review on highlights, please give this video a thumbs up. Comment down below on what are your thoughts on NXT Halloween Havoc, because it was a good show by itself. But anyway, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you please hit that subscribe button. Turn on post notifications when I premiere a brand new video or I go live on YouTube. Follow my social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, and TikTok, and Twitch, and Discord down below in the description. And I will see you guys tomorrow on Twitch for some Gotham Nights. So I got you guys on that. But like I said earlier, I want you guys to have a great weekend. Stay safe and always stay positive and stay blessed. This your boy Bigboyfactsjonnytv. KFG crew, KFG Kings, Too Sweet. I'm out of here.